Somewhere, in a locked vault at Yale University, there's a book that has survived wars, fires, and 600 years of human curiosity. No one has ever read it. Not the world's greatest cryptographers, not the codebreakers who cracked Nazi Germany's Enigma machine, not the linguists who have spent entire careers on a single page. It's written in an alphabet that matches no known language on Earth. Its pages are filled with plants that don't exist, star charts for skies no one recognizes, and small, naked figures bathing in strange green liquid for reasons nobody can explain. Some believe it's the greatest scientific text ever hidden from history. Others believe it's an elaborate joke, 600 years old and still working. This is the story of the Voynich Manuscript, the most mysterious book in the world. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why, after a century of trying, we still can't read a single word of it. Picture a library, not a modern one. Ancient shelves, candlelight, the smell of old vellum. Somewhere in that library sits a manuscript. 240 pages, give or take. Some are missing, lost to time. The handwriting is elegant, flowing, confident. Whoever wrote this wasn't scribbling. They knew exactly what they were doing. But when you actually try to read it, nothing happens. The letters loop and curl like nothing in Latin, nothing in Greek, nothing in any European or Middle Eastern script historians have ever catalogued. And yet, it isn't random. Linguists who've studied it say the patterns behave like a real language. Words repeat in ways real languages repeat. Letters follow rules real languages follow. So either someone invented an entire functioning language just to write a book no one could read, or they wrote something so important they needed to make sure no one could. Now let's rewind, because the story of how this book resurfaced is almost as strange as the book itself. A rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich is combing through a Jesuit college near Rome, one that had fallen on hard times and quietly begun selling off its ancient collection. Voynich finds it in a chest, buried among rare manuscripts. From the very first glance, he knows this one is different. He buys it, brings it back with him, and spends years afterward trying to find out exactly what he's holding. A letter tucked inside dates back to 1666 from a scholar naming the manuscript as the work of a 13th century friar. Modern science tells a slightly different story. In 2009, researchers carbon dated the vellum itself. The result? The pages were made sometime between 1404 and 1438. Early 1400s. That's not a guess, that's chemistry. Which means this book isn't just old, it's a genuine artifact of the early Renaissance, created decades before Gutenberg's printing press even existed. And whatever's written inside it, someone wrote it on purpose, in a language built to keep everyone else out. Here's where it gets stranger. Open the manuscript, and the first section greets you with plants. Dozens of them rendered in careful, deliberate detail, the kind you'd expect from a real herbal medicine text. Except most of them don't exist, not in Europe, not anywhere. Turn the page and the plants give way to the sky, spirals of stars, circular diagrams that look almost like zodiac charts, except the constellations match nothing from history. Then come the figures. Rows of small, naked women standing in pools connected by strange tubes and pipes, bathing in liquid that runs green in some illustrations, blood red in others. No context, no captions we can read, just women, water, and pipes repeated page after page, and threaded through every section is the text itself. Thousands of words in an alphabet nobody has ever matched to anything else in human history. Whoever made this wasn't guessing. Every plant is labeled, every diagram is annotated. Somebody, 600 years ago, wrote a complete reference book in a language they never meant for us to understand. Naturally, a locked book demands a key. And for over a century, some of the sharpest minds in the world have tried to force one. In the 1940s, the manuscript landed in front of William Friedman, one of America's top cryptologists, a man who'd helped break Japanese diplomatic codes during World War II. If anyone could crack a 15th century cipher, it was him. He couldn't. Friedman spent years running statistical analysis on the text, convinced it might be an early constructed language. He died without an answer. He wasn't alone. Codebreakers from Bletchley Park, the same team behind cracking the Nazi Enigma machine, took their turn. Linguists, mathematicians, and later computer scientists armed with machine learning all tried their approach. Every few years, someone announces a breakthrough, and every time, other experts examine the claim, and it falls apart. Not because no one's clever enough, because the manuscript itself resists every method we have for breaking a code, which raises an uncomfortable question. What if it's not a code we're supposed to break at all? So, what is it, really? Let's separate what we know from what we're guessing. Theory 1. An encrypted scientific text, real medical or botanical knowledge hidden behind a private cipher to protect something valuable. Theory 2. A medieval herbal reference. The structure, plants, then astronomy, then bathing figures tied to women's health, closely mirrors real medical texts of the era. Just a very ordinary book, wearing an extraordinary disguise. Theory 3. An elaborate hoax. Some linguists argue the text only mimics language statistically, with no real meaning underneath, a beautiful fake, built to fool a wealthy buyer centuries before Voynich ever found it. Theory 4. A lost or invented language, built by its author for reasons religious, medicinal, deeply personal, that may have died with him. Here's what's actually confirmed. The vellum dates to the early 1400s. The handwriting shows real fluency. The patterns behave like genuine language, not gibberish. Everything else, the meaning, the purpose, the author, remains theory. 600 years ago, someone sat down with ink and vellum and wrote something they never intended for us to read. Maybe it was medicine, maybe it was a secret worth protecting, maybe it was never meant to mean anything at all, just an old, beautiful trick, still fooling us centuries later. We've sent people to the moon, we've cracked codes that ended wars, and still, this book, sitting quietly behind reinforced glass at Yale, has never once given up its secret. Maybe some doors aren't meant to be opened, or maybe we just haven't found the right key yet. History still has secrets, and we're here to uncover them.